Okay, everybody, it's pay-per-view night. It's WCW Rising Fury 2002. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Okay, first we've got our basically monthly test of the women, and since we're in the Southwest, specifically the Arizona Veterans Coliseum, where my women's developmental fed is, that means they're actually somewhat over. So if we look at things, we've got Alexa Reed defeating Amber O'Neil, Angel Williams, and J.O. Kim in 11:58 when Reed defeated Kim by pinfall with the Lurie DT. So, you know, they're slowly getting there. Like, basically, maybe within a few months, I might actually have a women's division to use. Then after that, we've got Chris Harris and James Storm defeating Mamlukes, LaRue, and Norman Smiley, and Johnny Swinger and the Funkster in 12:13. So, you know, nothing too terrible, but just a way to get people on the show so they aren't too angry, and a way to give the future America's Most Wanted another win. And then last but not least, we've got a six-way cruiserweight battle. This is basically everybody else who's not on the show. So in this one, Jason Jett defeated Courageous, Noble, Skipper, Romeo, and Shannon Moore in 15:25 when Jett defeated Channing Moore. So yeah, solid match. Jett and Noble are the only ones who really have a decent ring performance, which makes sense. There's the only one who've been appearing on TV regularly. But 40 plus, you know, not the end of the world. But now on to the actual pay-per-view. So starting out, we've got our opening video, basically putting over the three-way match between Booker T, Kanyon, and DDP, the Sting Vampiro Last Man Standing match, and then Randy Savage and Steiner taking on each other. So 86B plus. And then in our opening match, we've got Tajiri defeating Cash in 11:44 by pinfall with the Brainbuster to keep hold of the Cruiserweight title. 67C plus, so really solid. Yeah, and this actually did pretty good because Tajiri only had a 56, Cash only had a 62, so this went beyond their even performance. And then afterwards, we've got Steel Silver Rollers, which is Cash and Reno, beating down Tajiri. Kaz makes a save, so fights them off, and then as he helps Tajiri up, all of a sudden he locks him in the Kaz mission. 52D plus, so not too terrible. And nope, not time for the heel turn yet. And then we've got our first fun thing. So basically, we've got Luger making his entrance for the match with Shane Helms, and all of a sudden, a man who you would know as The Wall, but who will be getting a different name very soon, just comes from behind, just attacks Luger, and then, like, you know, drops him across the rail, beats him up, and then tosses him in the ring to awaiting Shane Helms. 73B minus. There you go. Luger's getting better at his gimmick. So basically, like, this whole match is basically like Luger's already injured. So Helms, well, okay. He's not going to hit a breaker on Luger because Luger would never take that. So, yeah. Anyway, Helms defeats Luger in 7:52 by pinfall with a super kick. 73B minus. Yeah, Luger 55, Helms 68. Not the best. But then, after the match, Helms and Gigante celebrate together. 73B minus. If you're guessing I'm putting Gigantes totally on Menace, you're totally correct. The next up, we've got Jindrak and Stasiak defeating Air Raid in 10:06 when Mark Jindrak defeats Air Paris by pinfall with a Mark Perfection after Don Reeve distracts. So, yeah, 64C, so, which is a really good match considering, like, Paris and Styles really aren't that over yet. But yeah. And then the heel celebrate, 58C minus. And then next up, so again, Douglas and O'Hare don't click at all. So what I did here is do a quick thing where O'Hare defeats Douglas in 8:21 by pinfall with the Widowmaker. I did it as a 66C plus. I did it as a wild brawl just to sort of do anything I can do to help. And it looks like it didn't completely kill things. And then afterwards, O'Hare hits Douglas with another Widowmaker. Sort of have like a definite ending, 65C. The next up, we've got our random 8-man tag people on the show. So Miller, Finley, Conan, and Hoovy defeated Steiner, Standers, Chavo, and Disco when Finley defeated Disco by pinfall with Tombstone, 62C. So yeah, again, this will just get everybody on the show so they won't be too angry about being left on the pay-per-view. Then we've got our second sort of big angle. So basically, like, Lawler and the Rhodes have a confrontation. You know, Lawler continues to make fun of Rhodes for being used as legends. Rhodes fires back saying, you know, Lawler's nothing but a joke himself. And when when they call him a joke one more time, all of a sudden, like, the lights flicker, and then we've got Judas Messias or Ricky Banderas or the Future Mil Chase, as you may know him, come in and he just attacks both roads, like, hits Dusty with a huge lariat, hits Dustin with a big choke slam, and then he walks off with Lawler. 61C. Okay, if you're sure I judged Macias just on Menace, you are 100% correct. So then we've got Ric Flair defeating Chuck Palumbo by 11:25 and pinfall after using forward object. So, like, this is every Ric Flair versus a muscular babyface ever. So he takes, the slam off the top, he begs off, but then near the end he hits, he gets Ras Knucks, and then gets the pinfall. 73 B bonus. Flair gets 67, Palumbo gets a 56. So, and then Flair tries to celebrate. He tries to take Stacy with him, but he gets a slap for his triple. 85 B+. Then we have, and this was actually a lot better than I thought, because I actually was scared this was going to be a little worse because Storm was carrying injury, but I guess not. Anyway, Alex Wright and Ray Jr. defeat Team Canada in 1302 when Ray Jr. defeats Lance Storm by pinfall with the Springborn Hurricanrana, and they win the WCW World Tag Titles in their last chance. So Storm was slowed by injury. This still gets a 78B, and yeah, really good. And yeah, Ray and Alex celebrate with the tag title, 66C+. Then quick video of Flair leaving the building with the various ladies that wrestled a match earlier, but now they're dressed up sexy because, that 2002 folks. It's a 63C because I actually because I wanted to be fair and I based them all on sex appeal. So there you go. But, Ric Flair's out of the building, so there you go. So we got Sting and Vampiro doing their entrances. By the end, they brawl, 94A. And then in the actual match, sectional match, only 12 minutes. Sting beats Vampiro in 12:19 in the last man standing match, when basically, this is just a wall-out brawl, wild match all over, and in the end, Sting is, Vampiro probably takes a bump against either some WCW signage or some signage for Rising Fury, and then Sting is able to hit the death drop and get the pin, and, Vampiro's down for the 10 count. Then we got a post-match angle. Sting celebrates. He takes his bat. He's going to take out Vampiro for good with it. Then the lights go out, and when they're back, Vampiro is gone. So 96 A star. So, I wonder where Vampiro disappeared off to. And then, next up, we've got Jeff Jarrett defeating Billy Kidman in 1409 by pinfall, following botched interference by Torrie Wilson. So this guy, I can imagine, Jarrett's nailed Kidman with the TV title, US title. She's going to, fight, after rough bump, she's trying to grab the guitar from Jarrett. Kidman gets up, is going to help Torrie, before, as Jarrett is turning the guitar on her, but instead he gets walloped with the guitar, and then Jarrett gets the pinfall anyway. So 81B, really good match. They have great chemistry. So yeah, no heel turn yet. And then Jarrett celebrates, and he leaves with the US title, and then Kidman just pushes Torrie down. She lands on her butt, and then Kidman walks away. Again, not a heel turn yet, but we're getting there. 64C. Okay, and then we have the Steiner Savage entrances, so that gets 100 A star, because of course it would. And the actual match, okay. Again, 10 minutes, because this is Savage and Steiner in 2002. Savage beats Steiner in 10:26 by pinfall. If he can hit the elbow, he hit the elbow. Not enough selling shown. I'm completely shocked at that, or not. Yeah, if you notice, Savage only got a 60, so there you go. But it got an overall an 80. In post-match, Savage celebrates, 85B+. And then next up, we've got Booker, Kanyon, and DP getting their entrances, 99 A star. And in the main event, okay. Not quite, a little bit more than I wanted. Not quite what I wanted. Yeah. I wanted a slow build, but unfortunately, and I went for the spectacle. So unfortunately, that didn't quite go the way I wanted, unfortunately. But in the end, in the actual match, Booker T defeated DDP by pinfall in 1819, and he keeps the WCW World Tag Team title. So yeah, we got lack of psychology, we got already emotional high, physical ability for DDP, but DDP got a good bonus for physical. Okay. So the slow build was the problem. As far as Booker T turn. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I sort of see this as your like typical three-way match, like maybe like Kanyon's out of the ring after heating finishers from Booker T and DDP, but then Booker T is able to sneak in, hit the big move, and then let's change this to the Harlem Hangover. So Booker T holds on to the world title once again. But if you notice, Kanyon carried the match. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say carried because Booker got 79, Kanyon got an 81, and DDP got an 80. But, you know, solid match. And then Booker celebrates the end of the show with an 84B+. And Booker T's gimmick is getting stale, so might need to slightly change that. So we've got 82B for the actual pay-per-view. So let's give some notices. So first, Kanyon. Great performance. We'll give, well, we'll give Lance Storm a hug. We'll give Lance Storm kudos for wrestling through his injury. And then we'll have Scott Steiner compliment on a good performance. So everybody's happy. And let's see if anything interesting happened at the end of the month here. But yeah, so at the end of the show, Booker T's still your world champion. Sting's finally into things with Vampiro, but he disappeared. Jarrett's beat Kidman again, and then he pushed down Torrie Wilson. Flair got a win over Chuck Palumbo, but wasn't around to help out. Boys Arms in the air. We had the debuts of the former Wall as Gigantes and the future Mil Muertes as Messias, and some other fun things. But anyway, let's look first at our... Oh, Chris Kent. This is not great. Okay. Let's start out like... Let's start out with a stern warning. And he's improved his behavior. Woohoo! Okay, good. Maybe he won't, like, OD. Let's see if there's any interesting mail. Okay, so here's what we got. We got... Okay, that's just hilarious. But, okay, so this is interesting. Steve Austin's contract is ending, which is very interesting. Grandmaster Sexy's contract is ending, which is interesting because of who I just hired. Spike Dudley, well... I don't really care about him. Haku, I mean, that might be interesting to bring him back. Let's see here. We've got, okay, so Mike Awesome contract is actually ending. Miss Jones is actually ending. Brian Keck's development. Okay, so we got some developmental contracts ending. We got the Big Boss Man's contract ending, and we've got, yeah. Xbox contract ending, and Cristiano. So that's all interesting. We'll see what happens with all that in a bit. Also, Ken Shamrock lost an MMA fight. Too bad for him. But anyway, just for a quick check, since this is the end of the month stuff. So, create a meeting. Booker T's our #1 guy. Ric Flair's our top heel. Sting, Steiner, and Kanyon. Who's hot? Alex Wright, Kanyon, Stacy, O'Hare, Helms. Who's not? Sandra's Courageous, More, Smiley, Disco. Hot prospects: Hoovy, Kaz, Yang, Styles, Lash. Flair, Kanyon, Booker, Dusty, and Savage are our top talkers. Ray Jr., Hoovy, Booker, Kanyon, Vampiro, showstoppers. Ray, Storm, Jarrett, Hoovy, and Flair are our ring generals. Kaz and AJ Styles are our next big things. Time Decline are all the people you expect. But yeah. Anyway, I think this was a solid show, but if you enjoyed things, give us a like, go ahead and subscribe, make a comment on what you liked and what you didn't like. But next up will be Nitro as we start on the road to Spring Stampede. So, see you soon. Adios.